It's Miss Kendra. Today I have a book called Curious George Makes Pancakes by Margaret H.A. Rays. This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One morning the man with the yellow hat woke George early. "Time to get up, George," he said. "The pancake breakfast is today." George loved the pancake breakfast. It was a fundraiser held every year to make money for special programs at the Children's Hospital. Besides eating pancakes, there were all kinds of games to play. Even the mayor came to play and eat, but first he gave a welcome speech. "Thank you all for coming," the mayor said. "We appreciate your generous support." He thanked all the volunteers who were helping that day, and finally he said, "Please enjoy yourselves and the pancakes." When the mayor finished, the man with the yellow hat said, "George, I'm going to buy our tickets. Please wait here and don't be too curious." George waited like a good little monkey, but something smelled good. Could it be the pancakes? George was curious. He followed the delicious smell and found a whole griddle full of pancakes. George watched as a man poured little batter circles and flipped them up in the air. It looked like fun to make pancakes. George wanted to help. On a table near the griddle was a basket full of blueberries. These pancakes need blueberries, George thought, and he sprinkled some on top. Meanwhile, the man at the griddle was so busy he didn't notice the little monkey helping him, but the line grew and grew. George's pancakes were a hit. Soon everyone wanted them, and the man could not keep up. "Please wait," he said to someone holding an empty plate. "I need to find an assistant to help me." And just like that, he was gone. George looked at the people waiting in line and then at the empty griddle. Why, he could make pancakes. He could be the assistant. George poured the batter into nice round circles. Next he added blueberries. He waited just a minute to let the pancakes cook. Then he flipped them over, and last he added syrup. Yum. The line for the pancakes was enormous. But with 4 hands, George made quite a chef, and no one's plate was empty for long. "I've been coming to this breakfast for years," a man said, "but I've never seen pancakes made like this before." "I've never eaten this many pancakes before," said a girl. "I didn't even like pancakes before," said another girl, and they all lined up for more. When the man returned with his new assistant, he was shocked to see a monkey making pancakes. "This is no place for a monkey," he yelled, and he began to chase George. George hadn't meant to cause trouble. He only wanted to help. Now he only wanted to get away. Quickly, George found a place to hide, and the man and his assistant ran right by. But where did George go? When it was safe to come out, George jumped down. He was covered in syrup like a pancake, and he was sticking to everything. George was curious. Could these napkins help him get clean? Oh no. Now he has napkins. What happens when you're covered in sticky syrup and a napkin touches you? I don't think it goes away. Nope. The napkins only made it worse. What George needed was some water to wash with. Why, here was the perfect thing. George climbed up. This would do the trick for a sticky monkey. George sat on the bench and splashed himself with water. But all of a sudden... Oh no, what do you guys think happened? Splash! George was in the water. What a surprise! George climbed up again and splashed back down. He had never been in a dunk tank before, and he had never had so much fun getting clean. Soon, everyone was having fun, and then the line at the dunk tank grew even longer than the line for the pancakes. Later, the mayor came by. "I've heard all about your delicious pancakes," he said. "You've made our fundraiser a big success, and I have a special favor to ask you." What do you think they're going to ask him? At the end of the day, George got to present the money from the fundraiser to the president of the hospital. "Thanks to you, George. This has been our best year ever," she said. "Will you come back and make pancakes again next year?" George nodded, and everyone cheered. The end. Curious George makes pancakes. The next story I wanted to share with you guys, it's a Disney princess story. It's called The Sea Symphony, a story about forgiveness. One afternoon, Princess Ariel was playing tag with the twins when suddenly, crash! They knocked over a beautiful sculpture. Ariel and the twins gathered up the pieces and quickly tried to put it back together before her father found out. Ariel, Arista, Alana, King Triton's voice boomed. I'm home. No, Ariel cried. We haven't finished yet. As soon as Triton came in, he noticed the broken sculpture. Ariel, Triton thundered. What happened to this sculpture? Scared of Triton, the twins fled. I'm sorry, Ariel said. It was an accident. We were playing tag and... How many times have I told you not to play tag in the palace, Triton said. You know the rules. Ariel felt terrible. I'm so sorry, Daddy. Will you please forgive me? Triton did forgive his daughter, but then began to mend the sculpture. Now go and play outside the palace. Yes, Daddy. Soon after, as Ariel passed a cave, she heard the most beautiful sound. She swam over and found her sister Alana inside. Oh, Ariel, gushed Alana, this is the best present. I simply love this. This, what did you call it? Scuttle called it a pitsy tutor, Ariel said. I want to play it at the Sea Symphony this weekend, Alana said, instead of singing my solo. The Sea Symphony was held once a year. Merfolk and sea creatures from all the world's oceans gathered to take part in it. But you know Daddy forbids us to have human objects, Ariel said, thinking about her own secret collection. How could you show it in public? I think once he hears how well I play at the symphony, he'll change his mind, said Alana. I'm just going to sneak it in with my things. Ariel smiled. Well, I'm sure it will make my first time at the Sea Symphony a memorable one. Ariel was finally old enough to attend the famous celebration. See you later, she called to her sister as she swam away. I have to pack. To get to the symphony by Saturday, the merfolk of Atlantica had to travel a great distance. On Friday, preparations began for the journey. King Triton announced that each of his daughters would ride with him for a portion of the journey. Alana was to be first. Get your bag and join me up front, Triton told her. When Alana went to her room, she saw the pitsy tutor and panicked. What if her father discovered it as she rode next to him? So Alana hid the pitsy tutor inside Ariel's bag. I can get it out later, she thought. Alana left the room. Just as her sisters filed in to pack up their bags, but on Ariel's way out, her bag opened and the pitsy tutor rolled out, landing in front of Triton. What's this? Triton said, bending over to pick it up. Is this a human object? But Daddy, it's not, Ariel interrupted. Ariel, I'm very disappointed in you, Triton replied. You must learn from this. You're grounded and you cannot go to the Sea Symphony. Ariel looked over at Alana. She must have put this in my bag, Ariel thought. But why? Alana just looked down, not offering to help her sister and tell the truth. I never dreamed this would happen, Alana thought. Before long, the seahorses set off with a splash. Ariel swam to her room. I'll never forgive Alana for this, she declared. That evening, she cried herself to sleep. Very early the next morning, Ariel was woken up by Alana. What are you doing here? Ariel asked as she got out of bed and swam out of the room. Ariel, called Alana, following her. I came back to apologize. But Ariel wouldn't listen or even stop to hear what her sister had to say. I'm so sorry I put the pitsy tutor in your bag, Alana said. When Daddy wanted me to ride next to him, I panicked. I was afraid he'd find out about the pitsy tutor before he heard me play it at the symphony. So why did you come back? Ariel asked. I felt terrible, so I told Daddy everything. He arranged for a seahorse to bring me back here so I could work things out with you. Oh, please forgive me, Alana pleaded. Just then, Ariel swam past the sculpture, the same one she had knocked over the day before. What would a princess do? Ariel remembered how her father had forgiven her. She knew she must do the same with Alana. Okay, Alana, Ariel said. I forgive you. Alana threw her arms around Ariel in a big hug. Suddenly, Alana broke away from the embrace. Ariel, you must get going, she said. I don't want you to miss the symphony. I'm only going if you come with me, Ariel said. No, said Alana. I don't deserve to go. I've forgiven you. Now you forgive yourself, Ariel said. Besides, it wouldn't be the same without you there. Alana agreed, and the two sisters took off for the Sea Symphony. They arrived just as the overturn was beginning. Triton smiled when he saw them swim in arm in arm. This music sounds better than any human object could make, don't you think? Alana whispered to her sister. Ariel nodded and whispered back, and it sounds best when I can share it with you. The end. The Sea Symphony. I hope you guys enjoyed story time with me today. See you soon, friends. Bye.